Great to be joined here by Alaina Hall. And Alaina, thanks for stopping by. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, you just got back from Mankato and competing in the NSIC Championships. Just kind of recap for that. You came in fifth. You got a couple of PRs in the 60 in both heats. So how cool is it to kind of come through that and get your PR there?
It feels honestly so great. I wasn't expecting to do as good as I did. I was expecting good performance, but overall it was a phenomenal meet, and the performance from even me and everybody else was really stunning.
You also get to compete in the 200 and the long jump. How come you use both of the sprint events with the 60 and 200 to help each other, and then also the jumps to kind of give you that extra athleticism to help you in the sprints too?
I would definitely say long jump and 60 do coordinate really well because they both use a good form and a lot of explosive power. So I would say the long jump definitely helps with that explosiveness out of the blocks and just being able to apply running and mix skills. For the 200, it's not my favorite because it feels like forever, but for the most part, it helps with my endurance for the 60 overall. And they just, all of them really coordinate really well, and it feels good doing all of them, especially at conference, being able to perform all of them.
And that's at this indoor season, because your indoor season's different because you start out in December, you do one meet, and then we don't see you for a while, then you go on break, then you come back and it's all right in a row. So what is it like going through that and then doing these 4, 5, 6 meets in a row?
It's definitely a changer. I'm so used to just, every weekend or every other weekend it's back to back, and for that whole break after the first one, we have the alumni meet, so it's a great way to come back into it, but it throws you off a little bit. But it seems like, it didn't even take an effect this year. We did pretty good on staying on top of the training during the break time. So
what do you do during this time now? Because you got a month between getting ready for outdoors. Is it kind of similar to that break where you had in the winter, where you just had to try to keep yourself, just ready to go for the outdoor season?
I would definitely say, yeah, it's pretty similar. Having it smaller and coming straight off of the indoor season, I would say makes a little bit of a difference. But for the most part, yeah, it's staying on top of your own training, and they're gonna prescribe us. We get a little bit of a break, so I get to focus on studying and homework.
And how about you for the sport of track? What kind of got you into it, and specifically to do the sprints, the 200 and long jump?
Well, getting into it, I started with gymnastics, and then I was always good at vaulting, which is running. So I just ended up going into track after diving because that was related to gymnastics. So it was kind of just like a phase of events and switching sports. And then, the short distance, we chose, I get tired very easily. So we just ended up choosing a short distance race, which was the 100, because in Florida, we don't even really have the 60 like that because we're pretty much outdoors. It's a lot warmer. And we just ended up doing hundreds, and then the 200's another sprint that would prepare me for the 100 more. So it ended up being, okay, you're doing hundreds, 200s, and a long jump ended up being, sprinters or usually jumpers. So it kind of all just ended up flowing together in a cycle.
I'm glad you mentioned the part of Florida, because not always the path everybody takes to go from Florida up north to Minnesota. So just kind of walk us through what led you to go from Florida up here.
Yeah, I did look around a lot, and the facility here, especially for how old the school is, facility's great. The girls, when I came to visit, they were great, super friendly. Everybody cared about each other's safety, and that was my main thing. Other schools, they have their fun, they've got their events, but I think my main thing was, is it safe, and am I gonna have a great time here and be able to make it through well? So for the most part, it was the girls, the school, and everything kind of came together, and this was the best option for the most part.
I'm going to say, too, the last thing is, how much do you feel you adjusted to, because it's already your junior year? Do you feel like you've really just kind of gotten your routine and pattern? And you're kind of used to I'm sure, the weather up here by now at this point.
Honestly, I don't know how anybody gets used to it. It feels so cold every time, although I feel like I've gotten used to the seasons, the change in them and expecting the changes, so I'm a little bit more prepared, and I know when to pull out my coat, which is usually a little earlier than others, but it's definitely a lot better, and adjusting to everything. It's been interesting, and I didn't know that I would be able to be in this situation, but honestly, I'm really thankful for it, and it's definitely a developmental part of my life.
All right, thanks, Alaina. We really appreciate you stopping by. Of course, good job from indoor, and we look forward to seeing you in the outdoor season.
Thank you.